Hello everyone who's watching from YouTube, by the way. I've just started recording. But yeah, you saw me go to that black screen, which is like my sources page, and yeah. You know what, I need to change my apologistic stuff real quick, so I'll do that. Apologistics is working fine. I don't know why it's just it was just Spotify then that was being weird then. Oh yeah. So some updates. So, okay, you guys can see that my setup has changed a little bit. That is because shit, I didn't change my game time. I forgot about that. That is because my dad had like an extra monitor, so he gave it me. And also I have a new desk. I have this metal one. My old desk is like right next to this one. You can't see it, but you can hear it. So how fucking loud it is. But yeah, this is technically my dad's old desk. I need to get my AirPods. But yeah, this is my dad's old desk. He just got like a new one. He got a new one. So he was like, you know what, you can have. He's like, you know what, you can have. You can have my old one. So yeah, my mic also is so far away. You can see it here. It is so far away, but I can't. Why is my audio so loud? I can barely reach to adjust it. Oh shit! Almost spilled my thing. I turned it down too much. I turned my volume down on my microphone too much. Why is it suddenly... My audio is being a bit weird. But yeah. It feels too echoey in it. But yeah. I'm gonna add filters. Add nose gain and suppression. What deals with echo? I'm gonna look it up. What do I do with my stream? Reckon, like, this is so weird. To deal with echo. OBS. Look, it's IRL echo, not mic echo, which is a totally like different thing. So hey up Zay, hello, welcome on in. How you doing, Zay? How you doing? I feel like it's just IRL echo that's like, and the fact that my mic is like no longer like really close to my mouth. I feel like this is the closest I can get. This is like the closest I can get. But to be fair. But like I feel like this bit of my mic here, like this hinge here, you can kind of see it, which I feel like is so weird because you never can usually beforehand. But when I would have my webcam on this monitor here, you would you would not be able to see this. You would only be able to see this. But now that I have it on this monitor, on the second monitor, you can see that my whole ass microphone. I can see all the sticker wall, which is kind of what I wanted. I mean, I didn't really want you to see the mic per se, but I wanted you guys to see this. Anyways, we're about. We're only 10 minutes into stream. Well, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes into the recording. I thought it'd been longer. I thought it'd been like 10 minutes. But yeah, I also got rid of the fairy lights that were originally around my monitor because they just did not work. I need to get rid of the ones that are around my mirror there that you can no longer see. But yeah. Anyways, I want to get into this and Apollo Justice. So I need to change my game capture to Apollo Justice. Is that gonna? There we go. Okay, so we have, as you can kind of see on here, I don't know if you can properly see it, but we have 3 parts of the Mason system still left. Alright, I'm gonna get the strategy wiki website up just so I know. Never actually seen an Ace Attorney game before, to be honest. Really, oh my god, Ace Attorney games are really cool. You're probably not gonna lie, you're probably not gonna understand a lot of this. I'm gonna try and explain as we go. This should be interesting. It should be. But I'm gonna try and explain this case. But this is a very long case. With like 3 trials and like some investigations. So I'm gonna try and explain this as much as I can. The basic plot points of this case are I'm just gonna look up the wiki for this case. It's about Succession. That's the name of this case. Just for a basic explanation. So it's the 4th and final episode of the first Apollo Justice. So Phoenix Wright arranges a test trial for the so-called jury system, in which the verdict is decided by the consensus of 6 jurors from the public instead of being rendered just by the judge. Although Wright promises a simple case involving a young woman being accused of poisoning her father, Apollo and Clavier, aka the prosecutor in this case, soon learn that it is in fact connected to Wright's final trial from 7 years ago, in which he unknowingly presented falsified evidence and got fired, which makes like no sense when you think about it, because it feels like defense attorneys get a much harsher punishment than prosecutors. Because I think it was in one of Edgeworth's like first trials that he presented false evidence. And it was in like, I think it was in a later case as well, in the first Phoenix Wright, that Edgeworth presented falsified evidence, and yet he didn't get fired. But in Phoenix's last trial, he presented falsified evidence and got fired because of it, and got disembarred because of it, which makes no sense. Also, I talk very too fast. The idea behind the jury system itself, as judgment by common citizens, is emphasized by instances of leaning on the fourth wall, with characters frequently looking in the player's direction when addressing the jury, and even getting the player to act as one of the jurors. A secondary theme in the episode is one of the succession, mainly in the form of Apollo succeeding Phoenix as the main protagonist, and Trucy inheriting her grandfather's magic performance rights, that being Magnify being the Magnify Grimmere, being the victim of Phoenix's, of the victim of the victim that was involved with Phoenix's last trial. The murder victim in that trial. I'm gonna be lurking a bit, but please keep talking. I need a human voice to get this work done. Okay, I will be rambling. I will be rambling a lot about Ace Attorney. So, basically, Vera supposedly killed her father, who I can never remember the name of. We can't see. Oh yeah, when we completed the past, we completed all the past stuff. I feel like so okay. I'm gonna look through all this. I'm gonna look through this. Look through this and try to explain it. So apparently Vera killed her father, but we know that that's not true, and I cannot remember all the evidence. And we are defending Vera. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna look at where we need to go next. We need to go to present day Botch Bowl Club. Yeah, we need to go to present day Botch Bowl Club. And then we need to go to the Sunshine Coliseum. And then we need to go to the Solitary Cell 13. So yeah, we need to go to Botch Bowl Club. Yeah, Botch Bowl Club. Botch Bowl Club. And here we have Shady Smith. And I think it's time. We do Zach's, aka Shady's, aka whatever you want to call him. His little Cyclops. Little bit of stuff. I don't remember all the evidence. Let me have a look at the thing. So these are all. This is everything. Okay, this is everything about Magnify's death. And this being Phoenix's final, the final murder that Phoenix looked into before he was disemboweled. So this was his crime scene photo. This is his autopsy report, basically saying he was killed from loss of blood from bullet wound between 11 and half 11 at night. A handwritten page forged by Vera when she was younger, when she was like 12, I think. I can't remember if it was when she was younger or when she now. By Magnify. This was the forged evidence that got Phoenix disemboweled. I feel like I need to speak slower. So it's just not like blah 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 blah. This is the IV report. That's basically saying, oh, it's been approximately 10 minutes since the IV began. This is basically the kind of decisive evidence that basically was like, oh, Shady's Zach Gamera, who was the suspect in this trial, in Phoenix's final trial, being like, oh, Zach was the killer. This was the decisive evidence. Well, one of the pieces of decisive evidence. Because, let me show you. Where is it? This letter said for Zach to come at 11:05, and the nurse would have already gone out at 11 and had started the IV at 11 and then went out. And then this is a letter to Valance saying to him to come at 20 past 11. So apparently the only person that could have done this is the only person who could have done this is that could have supposedly done this would have been Zach, but we've raised some doubts of being like, oh, the actual killer could have gone in after Zach, killed Magnify, and then filled up the IV a little bit to make it look like only 10 minutes had passed until Magnify. Only 10 minutes had passed since the IV began when Magnify died. And this is Magnify. It's chart saying, oh, he died. No, not he died. He was diagnosed with a malignant tumor. and he was given 3 months to live. This is a small syringe used for insulin shots because Magnify also was diabetic, and it has been able. If it had been like used, it would have some like little bits of insulin still left in it, but it shows no sign of use now. These are the letters from Magnify saying for Zach and Valen to come to his hospital room. And this is a stage pistol found. There's 2 stage pistols found. And this is a stage pistol found. Well, there's 2 stage pistols found on Magnify's bed. And each fires 1 bullet. 1 stage pistol fires 1 bullet. So one of these shot Magnify, and one of these shot, if you saw here, shot this clown in the head. This clown doll thing. And then we have Magnify's diary. As you can see in here. Let me open it. And as you can see, there's a ripped up page in it. And there was a ripped up page in it, but the page that we were given was forged by Vera and wasn't the actual page. And then we have the amazing Mr. Hat, our beloved Mr. Hat, which is one of Trucy's favorite tricks. And then we have a transferal of rights the right to perform the Grimmere repertoire from Zach to Trucy. Because if Zach did get arrested, if there was, convicted, then he would lose and was, sentenced to death or were to die. Then he would lose. Then all the rights to this Grimmere repertoire would just disappear entirely. Would just poof. But now, because technically it wasn't really legally Zach's, but also kind of was legally Zach's. I kind of remember the specifics. But with this it's like, oh, now it's definitely the rights to perform the Grimmere stuff is definitely now Trucy's. And then we got nail polish that was found in Christoph Gavin's cell. That also I think Vera had at one point. This is a commemorative stamp sent by the real client to forge. I think it was to forge the letter. To forge the letter or forge one of the paintings. I can't remember. And then this is a photo of Trucy's mother, aka Thalassa, who looks strikingly similar to a certain other Ace Attorney character who we met in the last case, who we met in Turnabout Serenade, aka probably one of my other favourite Apollo Justice cases. I love Turnabout Serenade so much. But yeah, she looks so similar to Lemmy Raw, who's introduced in Cinematic Succession. Oh my god, I just realised her bracelets look so similar to Apollo's. Can we look at Apollo's? No, but yeah. Now in the modern day it shows their actual ages. Oh shit, Apollo's only 22. I thought he was 24. I thought he was the same age as Clavier. But no, he's 2 years younger. But yeah, this is all the people who are involved in the case. Apollo Christoph Gavin, who was incarcerated in the Central Penitentiary for the murder of Shady Smith, aka Zach Grimmere, who, was killed in the first case of this game. Then we have Trucy Wright, aka Phoenix's and Zach's daughter. Phoenix being Trucy's adopted dad. Valen Grimmere, who Trucy calls Uncle Grimmere, I don't know if Valen and Zach are actually like, I don't think Valen and Zach are actually brothers. That's how I originally thought when we first met Valen in Turnabout Serenade. I thought Zach and Valen were brothers, but no, they're not. They were disciples of Magnify before he died. And then we have Drew Mitchell, who was killed, who was the victim of the current Apollo's case, the current test case for the jury system. He isn't the victim of the Phoenix's case. He's the victim of Apollo's case. He was the one supposedly killed by Vera, but we know that's not true. We know that's definitely not true. Then we have Magnify, the victim in Phoenix's case. Then we have Thalassa, Trucy's biomother. And then we have Mike Meekins, who is the bailiff, and Zach and Mary vanished after he was declared guilty of the murder of Magnify. And Zach disappeared, and Bailiff Meekins was the one kind of responsible for letting him get away, because he wasn't actually following. He didn't act because he saw once he turned the corner. He went out the courtroom. No, he was outside the courtroom actually. Saw Zach went out, ran after him, turned the corner, and then there's two lobbies. Zach went into lobby 1 before Meekins could see him. So, and then at the end of the hallway, Trucy was there with Mr. Hat. Meekins got confused, thought Mr. Hat was Zach, and then Trucy went into lobby 2, and Mike followed her and Mr. Hat. And suddenly it went, and then Trucy pulled Mr. Hat away, and Meekins was just like, what the fuck? And then this is Brusho, a journalist who is somehow involved in this case. He's just very much intrinsically tied to Vera and Drew. Because Brusho was the only person to actually interview Drew, because he was very much a shut-in. He never really went outside, and yeah. And then this is Vera, our current client, and we have to declare not guilty. Okay, I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yeah, I myself have no such power, but Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother, Thalassa Grimeri. I will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Because it was revealed that Thalassa was so there was this thing called Troop Grimeri. And Thalassa, Valen, and Zach. This was a group of Valen, Thalassa, and Zach. They were a magic group called Troop Grimeri. And one night they were using the stage pistols to do like a trick. And there was only two. There was only ever two. So Valen and Zach were like doing a trick where I think it was where they were attempted to shoot at Thalassa, and it would look like it shot her, but it didn't actually shoot Thalassa. But this one time, it actually did shoot Thalassa. The three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yeah, there's another story behind the fame. one that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during the rehearsal to you and Valiant Gumere's bullets. It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you. Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yeah, there's a wall behind them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnified Gumere has joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trucy. Mr. Zack, I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else, someone other than Trucy, someone who inherited Thalassa's power. How do I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone with the power, and I know who. Our beloved Apollo uses his bracelet to perceive. This boy? His name is... I forget. Something weird. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, but you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just happen to have evidence showing this missing link. The bracelets. Notice how I said that notice how I said earlier that the bracelets that Thalassa had on was similar to Apollo's, to the one Apollo has. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How did you know this? Her first husband. He died a year after they were wed, yes. He was a performer. They met when he joined us Gumeres as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you said she had a child then? I have a photograph of her hair. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Gumere family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture. So, that's why. Why was Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where the other one went. She gave it to this boy, her son. Unlocked successful. Unlocked all the Cyclops. This strange power, I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact that it is passed down the Gumere line, it runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her. Thalassa once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others. Tension? If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. So she could see it? Not quite. This is the strangest part of all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes, her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? I've made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two. Our brother and sister, yes. And the brother too has this power of theirs. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I'll not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt. Once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how the whole of this got to be so messed up. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something? Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. And this has something to do with the power. What have I told you? The Grimmere power reacts to tension in others. When a Grimmere senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. Not minute, minute. So minute, they cannot sense it on their own. Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With a bracelet on, one can sense these contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrists. Precisely. But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight? Guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped, if they focus. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So basically, what you're saying is, the Grimmeres can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. And I guess Thalassa maybe kind of... Well, I don't really know this for sure. But if Thalassa is Lemmy Raw, then she wouldn't be able to use her power anymore because Lemmy Raw is blind. So she wouldn't really be able to easily use the power anymore, I'm guessing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something? Precisely. But wait, Tracy doesn't have any bracelets. You were talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Tracy herself has realised this. That is all I know of things Grimmere. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I'll tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnified Grimmere, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols, and 2 letters sent. This was Magnified's test. A test? In his last years, Magnified Grimmere worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead, which we already suspected. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Bah, I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then of course I would have given Valen his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valen were to shoot me in the head, then I too, the darkness, would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack, and I am sorry. I've done much that was wrong in my day. It It seems to me that Magnify wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valen's. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valen up to these days? Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. Ah, now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know. What? You don't mean to tell me they've put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There are even rumours that Valen had helped you pull it off. But that's madness. Wait, who was really the victim of... It was Shady Smith, wasn't it? Let me look. Shady Smith. Apologist this. Because I'm pretty sure he was the... I swear he was... Oh wait, I'm guessing this is before the first trial, okay. It seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, maybe? I don't know the exact timeline. I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated, even though I'm dead? Yeah. You're supposed to be dead, aren't you? That night, Zack Gamera was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveller with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. To whom it may concern, 7 years passed. I, Zack Gamera, murdered my mentor, Magnified Gamera. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court, and hereby confess to my crime. Zack Gamera. His confession, to use as I saw fit. Of course, he'd killed no one. This is his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valen Gamera. But then, if Valen was the real killer, then he just gets off scot-free, which is, you know, not good. Okay, off to the Sunshine Coliseum. There he is. This is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Valen. 7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realised I needed to hear it from you. I've walked a difficult road these past 7 years because you couldn't perform Magnify's repertoire. Do not be deceived. Valen's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way. Zack Gamera. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Also, I thought, Zack Gamera murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as it were only yesterday. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For a while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zack vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. I have no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They covered the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here I stand, smiling at them all. Or am I not if I'm a player in some fiendish farce? Might suggest it because you never made it clear what happened? Magnify's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. Cyclops. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping up on the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds like an awful lot of something I heard 7 years ago. Time for Magatama time. Ask what you will. You'll get nothing from me. I'm so much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years, I've endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Valen, but right now, I need answers. Think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valen, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. And what might that be? I see it bears the Gomere seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner. I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnify's miracles. What? Zach Gomere, he wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter. Trucia Enigma, actually. She's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous. Zach is gone, vanished into the void. This is the genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Yeah, Brushel was the official notary of that, by the way. Brushel was the guy that kind of signed it off and was like, yeah, this is all good. This is all good and peachy and good. Blah, 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 blah. This is all great. This is all peachy. Yeah. Why? What does fate toy with me, soul? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the death? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnify. Yes, it was Zach. It was. And he left. And my career as a magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zach Gomere shot Magnify. The IV. Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valen. All you need to do is to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Gomere? What should we present? Zach did kind of confess to it in a way before he died. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zach Gomere wrote one more thing before passing on. This is a confession in which he admits to the killing of Magnify Gomere. See, all according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yeah, it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience. I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zach wrote this right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him, Alakazam. Unlock successful. Woohoo! Let's talk to him about Magnify Gomere. You do know that this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it's my opinion that Zach Gomere killed no one, actually. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. So he vanished to protect me, his partner. Ha 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 ha. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnify Gomere in the forehead? If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnify's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it. So Valen Gomere did kill the Great Magnify. Fuck you laughing at? So sorry, Mr. Riot. But it was not I who shot my mentor. What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as, I don't know, Nakatalant Gomere, maybe? Your wild fantasies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valen received those threatening letters, but there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now? If it wasn't Zack or Valen who shot Magnify, then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait, you don't mean... Yes, the great Magnify Gomere himself. Ooh. So Magnify Gomere committed suicide? You find it hard to believe. To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnify Gomere? Yes. This is why I knew what he had done. Magnify transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gomere, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? What crime? What crime? Is not Gomere confessing something to me? Yeah, what? Yeah, are you good, Valen? What could it be more serious than murder? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no more secrets. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnify's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands. Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon. Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnify, and I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night I prepared something before going to Magnify's hospital room, which was IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I'd use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan, but you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came, but then Magnify called me back. I'm sorry, Valen. I'm giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnify Gomere killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him, he was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I got to the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand and wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnify died and you framed Zack for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. What do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe. Yes? I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valen. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And so my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Gomere was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me. What if he was the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realise that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zach Gamere. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. The only her that would be Thalassa. Zach Gamere, Shady Smith, whichever name you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. That man being Christoph Gavin. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well, could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something that I need to see. This. The yellow envelope. The tragic yellow envelope that we have not been able to read up until now. That is the yellow envelope, and the sender is Drew Misham. I was right. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. If this is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote, then there's something I need to know. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atroquinine spray finds anything. I forgot about the atroquinine. Oh shit, the blood on the stamp. I forgot about the blood on the stamp. There's just so much with this case. This is such a long case. So this was Drew Misham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, alright, no mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came, like you said it would, and then looking into the case, I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. Drew Misham. Gotcha. Finally, decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar? In jail? Christoph, you fucking twat. Gavin, I know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Oh shit, add in 5 minutes. I'll probably put it on sooner after we finish this part of the Mason system. And then we can move on to the trial, which shouldn't take us long at all because we only have one cross-examination to do, our last cross-examination of Apollo Justice, before we move on to Dual Destinies. Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies. There's not much I care to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atroquinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. This guy. This fucking guy. This guy, man. Oh, that is a cool transition. That is a cool fucking transition. Chef's kiss. Without seeing all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. It comes to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. Okay, add time before we get onto the final trial of Turnabout Succession. And yes, I'll save. Add time. Hurry up. There we go. Add time. to the next chapter. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for it all to bring us all together. Oh, this is such a great case. This is such a great case. Oh. I always love final cases in Ace Attorney. They're just turnabout. What is it? Goodbye, my turnabout. Farewell, my turnabout. Goodbye, even turnabout. Goodbye from the original Phoenix Wright. Farewell, my turnabout from Justice for All. Bridge to the Turnabout from Bridge to the Turnabout from Trials and Tribulations. The Adventures of the Unspeakable Story from Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Oh, final cases, man. I just chef's kiss. Oh. And what I love about Parallel Justice is that kind of, and like, you can't really skip a case. Like, there's little bits and pieces from each case that just wraps it all together. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can skip like maybe one or cases, maybe, and still get the full story. But it's so satisfying knowing that you've played like every single case and understand what is going on. Like, it's just great. It's just fucking great. Like, this is what I find. This is one thing that I find that is better in the first Apollo Justice compared to the first Phoenix Wright, is that with the first Phoenix Wright, the only thing that really ties everything together is DL6. But I think that everyone like kind of mentioning, oh, DL6 was this, DL6 kind of being like, oh, DL6 is this mystery case, blah 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 blah, and it being like kind of mentioning little pieces about DL6, but like you could just play. I feel like you could just play Turnabout Goodbye and still understand what is going on fully. Like with this though, I feel like you need those little pieces of stuff, little bits and pieces from other cases to understand and get the hype for it. Like, sure, there's been build up from it, but like I feel like, I don't know if that's a negative. No, I'm gonna say it's a positive of Apollo Justice. I'm gonna say it's a positive because it's like, it's so satisfying when you get that payoff. When you get the payoff in this trial. When we get the payoff in this trial. I haven't played Apollo Justice for All. I haven't played Apollo Justice at all beforehand. I literally only got this game like 2 months ago. But it's gonna be so fucking fun. This is gonna be so fucking great. I'm gonna tell you. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Something inside me, rising, surfacing. Apollo knows everything. He starts to know everything that we did in the Mason system. We have to put Kristoff on the stand. Something important, lost long ago, is close now. So close. We have to put Kristoff on the stand. We have to. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atrocquinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here? It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right, if Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atropine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer should have access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would have been nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I asked the defense to prove its claim to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first? How? How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I'll focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? No bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? The nail polish. The same thing that Christoph had in his cell. What's this? My, what beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that hand. Is that nail polish? It's colourless. Something the matter? No, nothing at all. So the killer put poison in his bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? My wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Exhibit XYZ of the judge just being a fucking dumbass, honestly. Like, I love the judge. The judge is great. But how the fuck did he, go through law school, do whatever he needed to become a judge, and still not know the concept of nail polish? Or, nail polish, yeah. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes. Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. That is a fucking lie and we know it. We all know you know it was your brother. We all know it's your brother, Clavier. We all know it's Christoph. Mr. Justice, you're about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Mitchum via her nail polish? What's this? Christoph Gavin. What's your game? My bro, there's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurks at the bottom of this. A darkness that's soared even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. There he is. That smug look. Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ugh. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do this. Yeah, you got this. You got this. Does this bottle look familiar by any chance? Aridoni nail polish? Why yes, I used it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mitchum was poisoned. Atropine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier, maybe you can explain this? You're being accused again. By him. Again. And you agree with his accusation, do you? What I love about this game is how similar they kind of look. We have Clavier, but also the slight differences. I kind of love the slight differences in how they look. First of all, the nose. Clavier's nose curves in a bit. Wow. Curves in like quite a bit more and like lower down compared to Christoph. Christoph's curve, he has a slight curve here, but his nose comes in and goes straight down. Wow, Clavier has more of an arch like here, and then it goes straight down. And then Clavier's hair is like slightly darker than Christoph's. Christoph's hair is like closer to a perfect blonde, I would say. And then Clavier's is like more of a dirty blonde. I mean, it may just be a lighting because you can't tell it's like more of a dirt. You can't even see it. You can't even see it because my webcam is so fucking massive. I'm gonna move over here now. I'm gonna move over here. But yeah, Clavier's hair. But you can see, yeah, the nose. Slightly different, or maybe it's just the angle from where they've positioned their faces. Because you can see, Kristoff just looks straight on, while Clavier just kind of has this little arch, looks like slightly down. It's like me looking like this to you, but then looking like this. Like it's a slight difference. It's like a slight difference. I'll look straight at you. I'm looking straight at OBS. Now I'll look straight down. Difference between Clavier and Kristoff. But as you can see, this is like a darker. This is darker hair, and the dirty like blondness of this part is like slightly more obvious compared to Kristoff, at least in my eyes, at least. And then there's the eyebrows differences. He has like more of a just like a kind of angle, but like Clavier's eyebrows are more like curved. But yeah. Now I'm gonna move my webcam back over to this side because on this side, how it looks. Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Kristoff Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Witness testimony. Owning the same nail polish does not make a murderer make. What? Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I have poisoned her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too? I'm not too sure about that, Kristoff. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Kristoff Gavin, my ex-boss, but I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Cross-examination time! Time for us to not go to history. Save. Time for us to save. Save. I hate having to look around my mic just to see the other side of my fucking thinking thing. Here again. Wait, I'm on the wrong fucking thing. I hate this perception thing sometimes. Just have a little. I like these little noises. You saw that, right? You saw that? saw that. Now I understand where this power came from. Now I understand what this power came from. It came from Thalassa. It was you who killed True Mission. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh really? But you see, I saw it when you said her father too. Your hand tensed unnaturally. The little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? Tell me, was True Mission found of nail polish too? Sorry, there's more than one way to poison a man. Exactly, Apollo, exactly. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. It must be very talented indeed. You see, Dream Mission was killed on October 6th. Well, I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way, all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Mission. That being our favorite poison stamp. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. Now that Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atroconine was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. It looks a little tense, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, just a teeny little bit. That is all, Your Honor. Order. Poison on the back of the stamp. After Dream Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to the witness's cell. Oh, what are the achievements in this case? Let me have a little look. Where is it? Little look. For choosing guilty as a jurist in episode 4 of Apollo Justice. After Dream Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when you found the stamp. You made Dream Mission write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need is to recall Spark Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see, after he put his letter in that envelope. Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that you used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence. Did you steal all his stamps? Did you steal all his fucking stamps, Christoph? I love how sometimes my mic is just, not my mic, my mouth is just blocked by my, the metal cap on my buckle here. He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. But, I mean, that was kind of obvious, not gonna lie. Really, Clavier. You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. Don't be a dick to your brother, Christoph. Leave Clavier out of this. Okay, it's the prosecution, but dude, don't be a dick to your brother. He's right though. How could anyone have known Mr. Mitchell would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph. Oh, what are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin. Her forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp. Yeah, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simpler that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. That's not bluffing. What is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. Heh. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well, I shall take his claim head on then. Justice? What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo, motive, he's talking about motive. Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. There is something. Why did he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Might I have some evidence to prove a motive? A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when you're making your statement. I say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? That being this. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham attempted his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnified Grammare's diary. When attorney Felix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Felix Wright. Who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? But wait. He won most cases. Assuming that this takes place not too long after trials and tribulations, and that he had no other cases in between Bridge to the turnabout and his final one. I mean, he probably had some, but let's just assume that he didn't have any. He has lost one case in his entire career, and that being Farewell My Turnabout. That being Farewell My Turnabout, the Matt Angard case. He is not someone to be drunk on victory after Farewell My Turnabout. After Farewell My Turnabout, he's throughout Farewell My Turnabout, it is becoming increasingly. The development that Phoenix goes through in Farewell My Turnabout is that he should not just completely blindly trust his clients, or that he has this unwavering trust in his clients that we saw for the entirety of the first game and for the majority of Justice for All. And we do see this a lot in Trials and Tribulations as well. But the thing is, that immediate trust, that just instinctual trust in his clients can just come to it. That can be manipulated, right? That can be manipulated, by, Shelley the Killer and Matt and God. He learned that he should not just trust his, immediate trust in his clients. He should not trust his clients so blindly. And he should be, okay and fine with admitting, he's wrong in some cases. And, in some cases, his trust may be wrong in his clients. That is, he being drunk with the prospect of victory is not a characteristic of Phoenix Wright that we see a lot, that we will ever see, that we have never seen, that we have ever seen even after the Farewell My Turnabout. You could have made this point before the Farewell My Turnabout case, but you guys said, oh, he's drunk with the prospect of victory. Up to, what was the case before? What was the case before Farewell? I don't remember the case that came before Farewell. But after Farewell, you could not, and in the modern day, in the time of Apollo Justice, you could not really make this point because it would not be believable to Phoenix. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Mission by the client who requested for forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Mission drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery to keep them from talking. But then he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favourite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Dun dun dun! Her forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? Of course he understands. The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Phoenix presented the evidence. He did not make the evidence. He just presented it in court. That is just a fact. That is just a fact. We do not know who made it. Someone gave it to Trucy, who then gave it to Phoenix. That forged paper was already made once it arrived in Phoenix's hands. Of course, Clavia does not know this at this point. But Kristoff and Apollo and Trucy, they all know this. They all know that Phoenix, and Apollo's an inkling that Phoenix did not make this and the Kristoff did. But Trucy and Kristoff both, at least Trucy and Kristoff both know that Phoenix did not make the forged paper, because Trucy was the one that gave it to her, and Kristoff was most likely the person that fucking made it. God damn, I love this game. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, and how will it go down? I checked through the records on the case, and I found this 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy. Hey, what's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand that I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? And his question, just who was Shady Enigma's previous defense attorney? 'Twas Christoph Edgar. No, this can't all be. It can all be though, it can all be. But it's all true. There was another man, our defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order, order, order! Oh, what is the meaning of this? Witness, defendant, former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Her forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and the proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Mitchell? Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Mitchell 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not. Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honour, you do the defence and justice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim, so the penalty not match. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice, fine, Your Honour. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Mitchell, and I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Shows the link between our witness and Drew Mitchell. That being the yellow envelope. This evidence proves there's a link. That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it is a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting is terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the letter. Reproduction. When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? AKA Emma's old badge that she wore in Rise from the Ashes. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. Fuck's sake, man. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something. I'm thinking, but without evidence. I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination. Clavier, show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin, frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now, our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Who, mine? Or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press. What did he say? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really happened to you. And really important to you. You amuse me, her forehead. I can never forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Baby Clavier. Finally, you just couldn't resist, could you? Her right? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? My request we put the current cross-examination on hold. The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, he did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence, and the next moment you call in Drew Mitchell. It was almost as if, what? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see that there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? It was the night before the trial. Clavier, Christoph, I'd seen you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I
won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then, I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph. We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnify's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin. My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what's gone on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo, I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gamero. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion that he used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points on the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. So he was basically watching how he played rather than how he won. Basically, if you won or not. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went on with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it. So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Ramirez both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then when you were dismissed as Zach Ramirez's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made, then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Ha. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalists sure he's being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Ramirez got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Oh, wait just a minute. Zach Ramirez was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone for 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just realised that the judge probably didn't know what Shady Smith looked like. Oh wait, never mind. He probably would have done, actually, because of the crime scene photo or whatever it was. But he didn't really have a good look at his face, I don't think, did he? Because he was like, let's lay back. But yeah. But yeah, he probably didn't have a good look of Mary's face. So he probably was like, didn't make the connection between Zach and Shady. I just didn't think we'd get so fast, did we? Did I read this one? I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Mary gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him. Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveller. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveller was Zach Mary. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Maybe. She probably had an inkling because of her power from Felissa. Was my hair just caught on my chair then? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnified Grimary's death, started it. Magnified Grimary's death and his student, Zach Grimary, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable, he forged evidence. True, Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atroquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But look what's on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp, I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Aridoni nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she had a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah, that nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself, she refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. I thought, oh my god, so... Wait, what the fuck? The butterfly of my mic just fell down and I didn't even notice until I felt something under my foot. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bombs sat there for 7 years and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin. Have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing provides a link between him and the actual quinine that took Drew Mission's life. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gamere to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveller by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive? Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now. I am afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here. No, but you are doing so well, Apollo. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let's assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me. I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Evidence is everything. There's nothing more. But the thing is, Christoph, you're more likely to be technically convicted of murder because you knew she bit her nails, so you gave her the poison nail polish. Apollo did not know the nail polish was poisoned and didn't really know Vera that well. Like, I don't remember Vera biting her nails in the investigation. She might have done, but I don't think Apollo maybe picked up on that habit until the trial. So Christoph more likely to be like the culprit. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor, Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, add in 5 minutes, guys. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for our new judicial system. That's right. I'd totally forgotten. The jurist system. Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off in society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? And trusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers. Common citizens have something called common sense, dumbass. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything. This looks so weird. The way Clavier, Trucy, and Apollo are just staring at us. I've never seen their faces in this fucking pixel art like scene. This looks so weird. It's like the judge is also staring right into our soul. Why? Why does this look so weird? This looks so weird. This looks so fucking weird. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? Classic witness breakdown, everybody. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no core law. Law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Krista, it's over. Clavier, the law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. If how you spend your life looking for loopholes, the law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on in our face in our time, and it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change if I I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Mishram accused of murdering her father. The painter, Drew Mishram, however, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, before we make this decision, stay here, because we have to get the achievement. For the death of Drew Mishram, how do you find the defendant, Vera Mishram? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. Add time, everybody. It's add time. Yeah. Ooh. In the jurist's chambers. Never seen this before in an Ace Attorney game. I don't know. Oh my god. This trial, this stream has just been suspense. I've just been like, whoa. I love this case so fucking much. I'm so excited. I am so excited for the conclusion of this trial. I mean, technically, I think we'll get two conclusions because we have to get the guilty verdicts for the achievement, for the Steam achievement, but then we'll get the not guilty verdicts for, to complete the case, obviously, to complete the fucking case, because, we have to complete the case. And everyone should be coming back now. Hey up, chat. Hey up. We're back in the not back in the jurors' chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Mishram is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Mishram's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait. Yes, jurist number 6. There's something in the jurist's handbook here. Person involved in the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all of your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case, I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decisions in the case against Vermishow. Okay, I can't say it again here. Okay. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. Confirm. We decided as Lamira. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system. A hung jury, the final verdict would have to wait for the following day. But fate had different plans. That night, defendant Vera Misham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity. And that is the bad ending, everybody. But we can load it from here. And we can now get the good ending after we've got the achievement. Now, I'm gonna return to the Mason system screen with Phoenix. And I'm gonna go back through all this text because I didn't save right before. Can we save here? No, we can't save here. I didn't save right before the jurist chambers. I just saved like kind of before, but not exactly right before. So let us skip through Phoenix's text. I wish we could I wish we could go through it all like as quickly as we did in the Phoenix Wright trilogy, but that is not happening today. That is not happening today. Time to make our decision. Time to make, well, the other decision. The other decision. The other decision of the ultimately law correct decision of not guilty. Confirm. And there is the other bracelet. The other bracelet that pairs with Apollo's. That confirms that Lamira is in fact Thalassa. So verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system, innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m, the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. October 10th, 10:12 a.m, Hickfield Clinic. Renamed after Horty Clinic. Before, it was Horty Clinic, now Hickfield. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. I'm proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too. I'm sorry you had to see us like this. Vera, thank you so much. Apollo, thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked up inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world, to see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison has some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Hey, let me thank you. Why didn't my stream just stop on my phone then? No, really, it's okay. Oh look, it's me! I love it. Thanks. Is that me? She really captured the essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. No! Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologise. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching. And one day, I shall return. You're the next Grimary after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix isn't my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kinda loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder, maybe it's a new mummy. Oh, Trucy. Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hart, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted. Yeah. Here goes. Do it as an impersonation, Mr. Hart. Here he is. Objection. Not loud enough, and I like Miss Magic underwear. Better anyway. That's Magic Panties, Apollo. You can just see see my stream on my phone up there. So, your memories returned. That's right. Is this all part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Larry Raw. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That's why you chose me as one of your jurists. You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there's no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I'll go to them when the time is right. Until then, don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on them, for her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Aww. Your bracelet, yes. I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years, but your bracelet was the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Mission regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something to live for, worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time, gotta go, cards are still. Here comes justice. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about the troop, Gumere. Truce is on the case. Now that I have this, thanks Daddy. Truce, Gumere? Frankly, I've got my doubts about Hat Gumere. Now that'll pack 'em in. Little did she know. Little does she know. Little does she know. They are actually siblings. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah. That's why it's over. The governors are breaking up. The news cars that run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I don't think he appears again, not gonna lie, after this case. I think it's Blackwell and another prosecutor in Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, not gonna lie. And maybe Pain will show up, but I don't think Clavier shows up again. I'm gonna be real honest. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it. I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. I love Phoenix. Phoenix is great. Our titular bachelor, if it were. The one who started off this whole playthrough and the whole series in general. Damn, I love Ace Attorney. Emma! We haven't seen her in a little while. So, I was standing around eating snackus the other day, and I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. And the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Classic Emma. Classic Emma. Always coming up with bright new ideas. I love this game. Oh, it's Olga! An unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Botch Bowl Club. The only thing colder than a restaurant is Botch. But if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. I feel like I need to turn my music up a little bit. Oh wow, it's what's the name? So Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo boss, culture time! This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo boss, PR time! And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Kids. Walkie still wants to do is pow 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 pow. Yo. God damn, this was a great game. Busy. Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that. When you wanted to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker. For real. I know it doesn't look like no cracker. What do you want to call it? The OG muffin? I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time, I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Noodles is about the salt. Salt forever. I forgot about Guy, man. I forgot about Guy. Oh yeah, this guy. Was he the actual murderer? I don't remember. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal acclamation. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stickler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Okay. I've forgotten who the actual killer was in Corner. They're going case by case, aren't they? They're going case by case. They're like the characters. So they've just gone through Corner. I mean, they didn't go through. They go for the witnesses of no, I know, we didn't need the witnesses for Trump. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Oh, it's like raw! I keep lesser. Life has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I've gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I'll think of them when I write my next song. Bushel. Bushel here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mental condition. And quote. I doubt that actually, Bushel. Yeah, I doubt that. I decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I met them. Aww. The door is open, and the world is waiting. Thank you. Aww. Vera's great. Vera is a great character. I love her. Love that little sketch. That's a great little sketch. Now, that is the end. You've got a special bonus in the music and background setting scenes. Ooh, commemorative. Ooh, let's check that out. You're finished. No. We'll continue onto Dual Destinies with, I don't know the name of this one, episodes, with episode 1 of Dual Destinies. Whenever I next stream, I apologize this, and as you can see, Phoenix is back as, as himself. Do we get to load game from... I know, we don't get to load game from... okay, game selection and museum. We could just stay there. Where was it? Is it in art library? I think I need to find it. I think I need to find it. Anyways, guys. Anyways. That is the end of Apollo Justice. We still have Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. And we can start those another time. Time for us to raid somebody. And I think today we are going to raid sleepy underscore G59. So let me switch to my raid screen. So / raid sleepy underscore, and why am I in all caps? G58. Oh, it's G59, that's why. Sleepy underscore G59. They're playing Dead by Daylight. They're playing Dead by Daylight. We're going to try their stream. And I shall see you guys next Friday. So I don't know what kind of stream. I don't know what to stream next Friday. Maybe Minecraft, maybe that's work, maybe Sims. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, guys, I shall see you guys next Friday. Bye.